Hello viewers, and welcome to another video. So today I'm going to be going over some ways to get your driver rating up in Gran Turismo 7. If you're a D, a C, or a B rated, specifically low B rated driver, this video is definitely for you. Because let's face it, getting stuck in those categories of races can be like purgatory. It's the doldrums where it's just, you try your best. You've got great lap times, but no matter what you do, you just can't seem to get out. Why? And how do you break this curse? I have 3 pointers that will help you to do just that. The first thing we're going to go over is the category of drivers that you're going to be racing against. Now, you've got those people who are coming up through the ranks. They started at E and D, and now they're at C and B or whatever. We were all there. We've all been noobs. We've all been brand new. They don't know the tracks. They don't know the cars. They don't know racecraft. They don't know the rules. It is what it is. You've got those people who are legitimately C or B rated drivers. They're good drivers. They've got racecraft. They know the rules. They're not trying to kill you, but they just aren't necessarily fast enough to move up into the high B, A, and A plus ratings. You've got the people that have been knocked down from the higher driver categories into the lower ones because of bad luck, bad drivers, you name it. I actually was a high B rated driver at one point, got knocked down to D. Yeah, it sucked. It's extremely frustrating, but there is a way to get back up from there. And these people are usually just trying to get themselves back where they belong. And then, of course, you've got the psychos who revel in destroying other people's races, just wrecking their fun because they just get their jollies from this. I don't honestly understand it, but it is what it is. And you don't find them in only Gran Turismo. They're in ACC, AC, iRacing, you name it, you're going to run into crazies. It is what it is. They don't like being passed, so they're going to knock you into a wall and say, nah, see ya. So the next thing we're going to take up is how to survive the carnage and mayhem of the middle driver rating races. Now, I'll give you an analogy. If you're a hockey player and you're aspiring to be a pro, you could be the fastest skater on the ice. You could be the best stick handler on the ice. You could be the best shot. You could put it in anywhere you want it from across the ice. But if you can't take a hit, you're not going to make it. So what we're going to learn today is not how to take a hit, but how to survive amidst all of what's going on the racetrack. First point is break offline. If you're following another car like this and you don't know when they're going to brake, don't be right behind them, because if they brake earlier than you, you're going to hit them. Move over. If they're on the outside, take the inside line. If they happen to brake early and you can outbrake them, hey, cool, you just made up a spot. If they brake after you, okay, maybe they'll brake themselves and they go off the track. It doesn't matter. That way you're not worried about hitting them in a braking zone. Next, don't pass somebody in a twisty-turny section of the track. The S's at Suzuka is not a good place to pass someone. Barry R is not lonely, and he does not need your company. Wait until you get to a straight. Get a good exit out of the previous corner, use slipstream to get in behind, and then make the overtake. It's a lot safer. You have a better chance of making the overtake without getting wrecked. If you are behind someone and you can tell that they're a crazy driver, you can usually tell because they're swerving like this, or they're blocking you every time you go to pass them, or banging into you every time you get near them like this guy here. Be very careful about going for the overtake, because you'll probably just end up in the wall. In fact, if you're pretty sure you're going to end up in the wall, consider not going for the overtake. If you're in the top half of the finishing cars, your driver rating will go up. Now, it's not always true. I finished second once in a championship race and my driver rating went down. To this day, I still have no idea how that happened, but it is what it is. But generally speaking, 7th and above is safe. 8th sometimes, but 7th and above is usually safe, and your driver rating will go up. You don't need to be on the podium. You don't need to win the race for your driver rating to go up. Yeah, it'll go up higher. It'll go up faster. But if you get 7th, it's a lot better than 12th or 13th. So how do you pass them? Well, if the race happens to have a pit stop, try the undercut. That means you can pass them without having to actually get anywhere near them. And that's generally the safest way to do it. If you have to try for the overtake, good luck. I hope you make it. I've been knocked into a wall so many times by crazies. It's so unbelievably frustrating. It is what it is. But again, if you have to concede the spot, do so. Take 7th. Take 6th, whatever. In the C driver rating races especially, always assume the other driver is going to do something unexpected. Because they usually do. I mean, let's face it. How many people actually watch the "What is sportsmanship" video at the beginning of sport mode? How many people actually study the rules of racing and learn them properly? Exactly. So you can expect things like moving under braking, swerving, blocking you from passing, super ridiculous dive bombs into the apex, knocking you off the track. You can expect these things to happen, so look out for them and try to avoid them. This leads me to point number 2, the rules of racing. It's a good idea to read them and learn them so that people know that you're a more predictable driver. Well, they won't know that you've read the rules, but you'll become a more predictable driver because if you're following the rules and they're following the rules, there's a whole lot less accidents. And that's why they exist. They prevent accidents and crashes. They exist in real racing and in sim racing. In real racing, they can save lives, and in sim racing, they can save sanity. So here are the main rules that you need to know. Number 1, moving under braking. When you're in a straight and you're coming up to the braking zone, you're not allowed to switch sides on the track. If you're on the inside line, you have to stay there. If you're on the outside line, you have to stay there. This is why you'll see top tier drivers especially will move to the inside on a long straight and stay there. It's easier to make the overtake if you're on the inside line, so that's where you want to be. When they get to the braking zone, neither one of them is going to change their line. Number 2, swerving on a straight, especially to block somebody from passing you. It's the same kind of idea. You're allowed to make one move when you're coming down a straight. You can go to the outside line, or you can go to the inside line. But after that, you have to stay there. You have to hold your line. If you want to know what happens when you don't, watch the race where Max Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo were teammates at Red Bull, and Max moved in front of Danny at the wrong time. He took himself and Danny out of the race, and neither one of them finished. Yes, Adrian Newey was pissed. Number 3, dive bombing. This is simply where the overtaking car tries to shove their car into a hole that's going to close. For example, you're coming into a hairpin, like this one here at Suzuka. If you're not significantly alongside the car that you're trying to overtake, you're not entitled to the racing line, and you have to back out. Don't look at F1 for this. Because there's funny rules in F1 where the first person to get to the apex is entitled to the racing line. And it's absolutely ridiculous what can happen. Don't pay any attention to that. The rest of the racing community, the rest of the racing world, this actually applies 100%. And number 4, obviously, driving into another car is illegal. When you're racing next to someone, you have to give a car's width. If they're alongside you, and they're entitled to race alongside you like that, you have to give them a car's width. As Fernando Alonso would say, all the time you have to leave a space. Just do it. It's way more fun racing wheel to wheel with somebody when they're actually racing wheel to wheel with you, and you're going corner after corner after corner right beside each other. It's awesome. It's the best kind of racing you can imagine. And yeah, this really is how real race car drivers drive. Yes, there are racing incidents. Yes, there are accidents and crashes. Yes, people make mistakes. But most drivers drive the entire race without actually hitting another car. It's just one of those things. Learn to do that. You will be a much better driver. You will get up the driver ratings because you will have less crashes. You will be able to make more overtakes. You will have a whole lot more fun. One more point I'd like to go over is the radar. It exists in Gran Turismo. Use it. Keep it on. Keep an eye on it. When someone's coming up behind you, you can tell. When someone's beside you, you can tell. Especially if you're racing in cockpit like I do. You can't see them necessarily. Your mirrors are useless for the most part. That radar tells you where they are. It'll also tell you if somebody's going to do some kind of a crazy dive bomb. Because, yeah, you might see them coming up behind you in your mirror, but you see on the radar that this arrow is now firing up toward you. Keep the radar up. Keep an eye on it. Get used to using it. It will absolutely save your races. It will help you. And it's a really good idea to make sure you've got it running. And my third and final point is just not knowing all the tracks and being really, really good on all the tracks. Let's face it, mere mortals like us don't have the extraordinary speed that the A and A plus drivers have. We don't necessarily have the time to dedicate to practicing, etc., etc. There's all kinds of reasons why not. But there is still a solution. If you're really focusing on raising your driver rating, don't drive on tracks that you're bad at. Focus on the ones you're good at. For example, I'm excellent at Road Atlanta. I love that track. I suck at the Nürburgring. Not the Nordschleife, the regular Grand Prix circuit. I'm not good at it. So if I'm really concerned about getting my driver rating up, I'm going to work on Road Atlanta. Like a couple of weeks ago, it was one of the daily races. I drove the heck out of it. And I went from D back to B. Hey, I got my B rating back again. If it's the Nürburgring, on the other hand, I'm not going to do a whole lot of races because I know I'm not going to do that well, and I'm going to take a hit on my driver rating. Now, how do you get around this? Because you do need to learn these tracks. Here's how you do it. Don't enter the race. Go into qualifying. Do a whole bunch of laps, and then compare yourself against the friends that you're normally about equal with. You're about the same as Bill. Oh yeah, me and Bill, we're about good. When I'm on my game, I'm about the same times as Bill. Okay, so do a whole bunch of qualifying laps until your lap times are about what Bill can do. Then take part in the race and see how you do. But let's face it, Gran Turismo 7 has 39 tracks, 82 different layouts, with 118 configurations when you consider all of those layouts plus the reverse versions. Most of them never see the daily races, granted, but it's a good idea to learn them. And to do that, you can jump into time trial and you can drive around and around and around and around and around. And yeah, that's a good way to do it. But every single one of these tracks has circuit experience, and each one of these circuit experiences has a demonstration. That demo is a gold time. So do circuit experience until you get gold. You'll know the track at that point. And if you're having trouble, watch the demo. Watch it over and over. Watch when they brake, when they let off the brakes, when they start to feather in the throttle. What gear are they using on each of the corners? That can be a very, very important factor. Sometimes it'll drop a gear to get more rotation, then quickly back up into the next gear to get out of the corner without a whole lot of wheel spin and without the car getting all sideways. Lots of different techniques that you can learn watching the demonstration in circuit experiences. And they pay well when you get the gold. So if you're short on credits, it's a good way to make money. Well, there you go, folks. I hope this was helpful. Not all of us mere mortals are able to just blast our way up to the A and A plus driver ratings. It does take more time, but it is still possible. And if you follow these pointers, you'll make it as well. I wish you the best of luck in your quest to escape the lower rank hell and actually make it into whatever driver rating you're trying to get to. In the meantime, if you liked the video or if it was helpful, please drop a like. Feel free to get yourself subscribed, and I'd love to hear from you. Please leave a comment. What did you think? Do I have other ideas? Did you think this was wrong or that was better or whatever? Please, I'd love to hear from you. Have an awesome day, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.